Welcome to our exploration into one of the most mystifying and intriguing portions of the Bible, Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. We're embarking on an enthralling journey into the era of the Nephilim. Yes, you heard right, the Nephilim, giants or fallen ones, as they're called in the original Hebrew text. Just the term alone is enough to spark a cornucopia of curiosity. While the Bible offers only a fleeting glimpse into their existence, the Nephilim have permeated the fabric of various apocalyptic narratives, not least of all the Book of Enoch. These enigmatic beings, renowned for their extraordinary size and strength, incite questions that have sparked theories as diverse as they are complex. Who were the sons of God? Who were the daughters of men they married? And who exactly were the Nephilim, considered by some as their offspring? Let's delve into 5 interpretations that seek to unravel this riddle. Interpretation 1. According to one view, the sons of God were divine beings or fallen angels who mated with human women. Their offspring, the Nephilim, were the resulting hybrids, giants who brought wickedness into the world, prompting God to flood the earth. This viewpoint suggests a stark divide between the spiritual and the earthly, with catastrophic outcomes. Interpretation 2. Another interpretation takes a different route, seeing the sons of God as descendants of Seth and the daughters of men as descendants of Cain. The transgression here lies in the mingling of the righteous with the unrighteous, leading to a generation plagued with moral corruption. Interpretation 3. A third viewpoint sees the sons of God as rulers or individuals of high rank, and the daughters of men as commoners. This interpretation focuses on the class divide and the social disruption that resulted from their unions. Interpretation 4. A fourth theory proposes that the sons of God were humans possessed by demons who married ordinary women, leading to a generation hostile towards God. Unlike the angelic interpretation, this theory sees the narrative as a primarily human drama, albeit under the influence of spiritual forces. Each interpretation brings its unique perspective to the table, offering valuable insights into this intriguing biblical passage. As scholars and believers, we must approach these interpretations with humility and reverence, always focusing on understanding God's overarching plan and His redemptive work through Jesus Christ. Now, a question that often surfaces in this discourse is, do descendants of the Nephilim exist today? Genesis 6:4 mentions the Nephilim existing both before and after the flood. So, how could they have survived the flood, which wiped out all of humanity, save Noah and his family? Diving headfirst into this mystery, we encounter 2 leading theories that attempt to untangle this complex conundrum. Each one is like a torch, trying to illuminate the uncharted pathways of this ancient puzzle. The first one presents a scenario that feels akin to a cosmic déjà vu. It proposes that history, in its peculiar ways, repeated itself. Just as in the days before the cataclysmic flood, another rebellious squadron of celestial beings, angels in the biblical sense, descended upon the earth. Taking a leaf out of their predecessor's book, they repeated the same transgressions. This led to a new generation of the Nephilim, born from the celestial human unions, repopulating the earth. It's a theory as fascinating as it is haunting, echoing the eerie refrain, "What has happened before will happen again." The second theory, on the other hand, invites us to rethink our understanding of the term Nephilim. It suggests that perhaps we've been a bit too literal in our interpretation. Maybe the term Nephilim was used more broadly to categorize individuals of extraordinary size and strength, the giant warriors of the ancient world. Think of it as an ancient synonym for behemoth or colossus, used to describe anyone who towered over their peers, both in physical stature and perhaps in the strength of their character. Much like how we might label an unusually tall person a giant today, even if they don't trace their lineage to Goliath. Both of these perspectives are fascinating, aren't they? They compel us to examine the enigma of the Nephilim through different lenses, each revealing a unique facet of this ancient mystery. But remember, while we may delight in these intellectual explorations, the true answer remains elusive, veiled behind the curtains of time and interpretation. Are there Nephilim walking among us today, hiding in plain sight? It's a tantalizing question, straight from the pages of a Dan Brown novel. Personally, I find it as unlikely as finding Bigfoot strolling through Central Park. While we may enjoy the thrill of such conjectures, the hard truth is that evidence for modern-day Nephilim is as scarce as a dodo bird. Suppose for a moment we entertain the possibility of their existence today. That would not only be like opening Pandora's box, but it would also mean rummaging through it without a manual. It would invite a flood of complex and frankly mind-boggling theological questions. The foremost of these would undoubtedly revolve around the salvation of these purported Nephilim. Can they too be saved? Well, the Bible is as silent on this as a locked vault. Given the absence of biblical teachings on angelic salvation, it's safe to infer that the Nephilim, who according to some interpretations are part celestial, would be on the outside looking in, standing in the salvation queue without a ticket. In the end, while these speculations might provide food for thought and could ignite stimulating discussions around campfires or in Bible study groups, what remains paramount for us as believers is not to get lost in these theological labyrinths. Instead, we should approach these questions with discernment and wisdom, our minds firmly anchored in scriptural teachings. Our faith, after all, is like a sturdy lighthouse amidst the swirling seas of uncertainty. It rests on the solid bedrock of our Heavenly Father's saving grace and unfailing love. This divine love is a welcoming harbor that opens its arms wide to all who believe in Him. Regardless of whether we can decode the enigma of the Nephilim, the pivotal truth remains the same: our faith in His love, His mercy, and His promise of salvation. It is this assurance that lights up our path, guiding us through the shadowy realms of mysteries and towards the eternal light of His truth.